Thomas Shelby is a complex and fascinating character who displays many traits and tricks of dark psychology, which is the study of the darker aspects of human behavior, such as manipulation, deception, coercion, and domination. Here are some examples of how Thomas Shelby uses dark psychology in the show. The power of silence. Thomas Shelby often uses silence as a way to intimidate, manipulate, or influence others. He knows that silence can create tension, uncertainty, or curiosity in his opponents, and he uses it to his advantage. For example, in Season 1 Episode 2, he remains silent when Inspector Campbell interrogates him about the stolen guns, making Campbell frustrated and angry. The art of persuasion. The rule of scarcity. Thomas Shelby understands that people want what they can't have, and he uses this to create demand and value for his products and services. He limits the supply of his illegal goods, such as whiskey, guns, or horses, making them more desirable and profitable. He also creates a sense of urgency and exclusivity for his offers, making them hard to resist. For example, in Season 3 Episode 1, he sells his racehorses at a high price by telling the buyers that they are the last ones available. The halo effect. Thomas Shelby exploits the halo effect, which is the tendency to judge someone's overall character based on one positive trait or aspect. He uses his charisma, charm, and good looks to create a favorable impression on others, especially women. He also dresses well, speaks eloquently, and acts confidently, enhancing his image and reputation. For example, in Season 4 Episode 2, he seduces Jessie Eden by complimenting her intelligence and beauty. The authority principle. Thomas Shelby establishes himself as an authority figure in his business and community, using his power and influence to control others. He displays signs of authority, such as wearing a suit, driving a car, or carrying a gun. He also uses titles, ranks, or credentials to assert his legitimacy and credibility. For example, in Season 5 Episode 1, he introduces himself as Thomas Shelby OBEMP to Michael's new wife Gina. The social proof principle. Thomas Shelby leverages the social proof principle, which is the tendency to follow the actions or opinions of others, especially when uncertain or unsure. He builds a loyal network of followers, allies, and supporters who trust him and endorse him. He also uses testimonials, reviews, or referrals to promote his business and reputation. For example, in Season 3 Episode 6, he convinces the Economic League to hire him as a spy by showing them letters of recommendation from Winston Churchill and other influential people. The commitment and consistency principle. Thomas Shelby exploits the commitment and consistency principle, which is the tendency to act in accordance with one's previous statements or actions, even if they are no longer rational or beneficial. He gets others to commit to small favors or agreements, and then gradually increases his demands or expectations. He also holds others accountable for their promises or obligations, and reminds them of their reasons or motives. For example, in Season 4 Episode 6, he manipulates Luca Shangretta into accepting a one-on-one duel by appealing to his honor and pride. The contrast principle. Thomas Shelby utilizes the contrast principle, which is the tendency to perceive something as more or less attractive depending on what it is compared to. He creates contrast between his offers and alternatives, making his offers seem more appealing or favorable. He also creates contrast between his actions and expectations, making his actions seem more surprising or impressive. For example, in Season 2 Episode 4, he shocks Grace by proposing to her after pretending to be indifferent towards her. Psychopathy. Thomas Shelby shows a lack of empathy, remorse, and guilt for his actions, as well as a disregard for the law and the rights of others. He is willing to kill, torture, or betray anyone who stands in his way or threatens his interests. Charisma and intelligence, which he uses to manipulate and influence others. He is fearless, confident, and ruthless in pursuing his goals. 1 2. Narcissism.
Thomas Shelby has a grandiose sense of self-importance and entitlement.
He believes that he is superior to others and deserves special treatment and admiration. He is obsessed with his image and reputation, and often seeks validation from others.
He is also very arrogant, proud, and vain, and does not tolerate criticism or challenge. Well, superscript 1 superscript 2.
The Barnum effect.